looks pretty cool. Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure I found the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns because these speedrunners are absolutely terrible at hiding the fact that they cheated. This speedrunner starts directly on top of a tree inside of a village, but the speedrunner has no way to get down except for a small water pool at the bottom. So they go to jump down inside of it and somehow completely miss, which is honestly just embarrassing. Where the speedrunner enters the closest house, which for some reason has a camel inside of it, even though I'm pretty sure camels only spawn in the nether. So what the heck is a random camel doing here inside of this house? Well, not only that, the camel's name is Camel, but with one extra M, which is honestly a pretty unique name. Where the speedrunner leaves the camel alone and goes down to the next house inside the village. They go up a ladder and find a chest, and this chest has an iron pickaxe. So they take the iron pickaxe and leave the house. They then take exactly 2 logs away from the house and turn those logs into planks, and turn the planks into a crafting table and into sticks. They then begin climbing this mountain until they find a random red rose on the ground. But it is actually impossible for a red rose to randomly spawn inside this biome on the ground. Where the speedrunner breaks the rose and digs directly down from where the rose was at, and within seconds they find diamonds. And they find exactly 3 diamonds. So they place down their crafting table and make themselves a diamond pickaxe. They then just begin digging straight down some more until eventually they end up inside the stronghold with an end portal that is already lit. And the chances of the end portal already being lit is not impossible, but the chances are actually 0.000000001% chance of happening, which makes this speedrun extremely lucky, where they instantly enter the end and find an already dug staircase going straight up. So they go up the staircase and realize that there is no end crystals. Not only that, there's also no ender dragon, but there is some diamond structure in the middle of the end. Not only that, there's also a sign that says dragon was slain by Camel the Camel. So let me get this straight. A camel killed the ender dragon. Yeah, seems about right. The speedrunner just enters the end and gets the world record time for the fastest speedrun. This speedrunner starts by shooting all the zombies with their gun. They shoot tons and tons of zombies and eventually pull out a shotgun and start killing even more zombies and creepers and even skeletons. They then see a big crowd of mobs and begin spraying them down, and they somehow blow up. So the speedrunner uses their insane bridging skills to bridge right over the hole, and they throw a grenade into the nether portal, which blows it up. Oh wait, wrong footage. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. If you're enjoying the video so far, you should probably subscribe. This speedrunner starts in an absolutely terrible biome for speedrunning. So any speedrunner would just leave the world and create a new seed. But instead, this speedrunner decides to go straight inside of the poo-poo pee-pee biome. And as they wander around it, they suddenly find a hole, which for some reason has a nether portal. So the speedrunner just enters the nether. But once in the nether, they look around for a bit, but they're stuck on a little island. So with absolutely nothing that they're able to do on the island, they just simply go back inside the portal. But whenever they go back through it, they're suddenly in a completely different area. And if we compare the 2 entrances to the nether portal, they look absolutely nothing alike. The speedrunner finds a chest to the ruin portal, but once they open the chest, they find extremely overpowered loot. But this loot is also gold. And everybody knows that ruin portals typically only give you full diamond armor and a diamond sword, not whatever the heck this loot is. But the speedrunner takes the loot and begins wandering around the village until they spot a chest. So they go and open the chest and find a singular Eye of Ender. But they also spot a chest beneath the chest, and they open the chest to find 2 fermented spider eyes? Okay then. I have no idea what the speedrunner is gonna do with 2 fermented spider eyes, but alright then. The speedrunner then finds the bell to the village, and for some odd reason decides to ring the bell for the next hour and a half. Who gets this distracted on a simple bell inside of a speedrun? This speedrunner definitely has some issues. Finally, they stop ringing the bell and enter a villager's house, which for some reason has an end portal, but the end portal is only missing 1 Eye of Ender. And of course, the speedrunner has only 1 Eye of Ender. So I guess they just got extremely lucky. They place in the Eye of Ender and enter the end. Once in the end, they go down this very naturally generated staircase that they 100% did not place themselves. And as they get closer to the Ender Dragon, they can see that the Ender Dragon is only 1 HP for some reason. So once the speedrunner gets close enough to the Ender Dragon, they smack it 1 whole time and finish the speedrun. This speedrunner starts in a plains biome. The first thing they do is go in third person, then go inside their settings and start clicking a bunch of different settings for literally no reason. Like, what is the point in turning your clouds on and off? Once the speedrunner finishes doing that, he then finds a village right behind him, which if you ask me is a pretty darn lucky spawn. The speedrunner starts making their way to the village, but wait, why are there tons of villagers just on top of this roof? Alright then, this speedrun is so strange. The speedrunner enters a house and opens a chest which has some pretty normal loot. But for some reason they take none of the loot and instead exit the house, look straight up, turn around, and what the heck? This loot was 100% not in here before. Where they take their very legit loot and then make their way over to another house that has a chest. But this chest has absolutely nothing inside of it. So I think the speedrunner forgot to place something inside the chest beforehand. Well, they exit the chest and reopen it and what the heck? Okay, I'm starting to have a weird feeling that this speedrunner is cheating. They take the obsidian and the flint and steel and begin to build themselves a very normal nether portal. They enter the nether and immediately find a hole with tons of piglins. But the speedrunner doesn't have any gold. Wait, what? They start throwing tons of their magical gold into the pit, and instead of picking up any of the items that they're trading with the piglins, they instead just leave the nether. Once they're back in the overworld, they suddenly just dig straight down and find an end portal. Of course they do. But wait, the speedrunner doesn't have any eyes of ender. Oh my god. They place in all the eyes of ender and enter the end. Once in the end, the speedrunner has to use his obsidian to be able to build to the island. Wait, how did they get ender pearls? Well, I guess they can just teleport there as well. Wait, why is the speedrunner typing inside chat? I have to eat dinner? Wait, you can't just stop the speedrun. The speedrunner starts in a normal forest. They then begin aimlessly wandering around until they spot a netherite sword just sitting there on the ground. Well, maybe this chicken dropped it or something. Well, the speedrunner picks up the sword and finds an opening in the mountain and a sign that says cave. It's a good thing there was a sign that said cave, or else I would have had no idea that this was a cave. Well, the speedrunner enters the cave and immediately finds a chest. And inside the chest is a stack of obsidian. So the speedrunner takes the obsidian and begins to build another portal. Oh, okay. And begins to build another portal. Oh, well, they begin to build another portal. Okay, then. I said they begin to build another portal. There we go. It only took like 10 tries. Wait, I just realized that the speedrunner doesn't even have a flint and steel, so they can't enter the nether. So the speedrunner begins to mine a tree, but for some reason they dig underneath the tree and find a barrel that of course has a flint and steel. So the speedrunner takes the flint and steel and lights the nether portal and enters the nether. Once in the nether, we see whatever the heck this is. Also, the speedrunner goes from full health to like 4 hearts instantly, so they leave the nether. But as they're leaving the nether portal just brings them back to the nether. But this time, they have full armor bars. But not even the armor will save him because he gets down to half a heart, and then a random cut happens, and the speedrunner magically gains some health. So the speedrunner just begins to start killing the blazes, and they get some blaze rods. But suddenly, out of nowhere, they break a singular piece of dirt and find tons of ender pearls. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't place those there. The speedrunner leaves the nether, but wait, they suddenly have a lot more blaze rods than I remember. Because as they were leaving the nether, they only had 3 blaze rods. But once we see them in the overworld, they suddenly have 9, which I'm sure is completely legit. Well, the speedrunner begins wandering the forest until they suddenly see whatever the heck I'm looking at right now. Well, they climb the ladder, and at the top is an end portal, but it's already lit, which means there was no point in them getting any materials to be able to make Eyes of Ender. Well, the speedrunner enters the end and immediately finds tons of ladders. They use the ladders to get out of the hole and find a chest and a sign that says baby dragon gift for you. And inside the chest is a bow and 2 stacks of arrows. They use the bow to absolutely destroy all of the crystals and eventually even slay the ender dragon, which if you ask me was a pretty impressive speedrun. If you like that video, I'm pretty sure you'll like this video as well, so I would recommend clicking it.